Hi and welcome to blendersource.com. Today I want to show you how you can create a Minecraft wallpaper like you see on my desktop here. And yeah, it's really easy to do. And I have to say it's a big fake. Not that I have faked it or downloaded it somewhere. We don't have to model something or we have to texture something. It's just a compositing of models and an image background. Because as you can see in the background, there's so many blocks and there's so many involved. So it would be tremendous work to recreate this in Blender. So I have used something. It's called the Blender Rig Pack, and you can get it at ripness.net, and you can click here on Downloads, Blender Rigs, and here you can find the Minecraft Blender Rig Pack. Just click on that, and here you can find a download for the Blender internal engine or Cycles engine. And you can download it here, or you can download it here at Boxscape Studios. They have a new version, updated blocks, updated textures, and so on. And if you click on that, you come to this site and click on Downloads, scroll down, and download it here from a Dropbox account. Okay, so let's jump in Blender. And the first thing we do, we get rid of the default cube, like always. So bye-bye default cube. And first step I do, I'm going to File, Append. And because I was in this before, because I have tested and the tutorial before I create a video. So if you have downloaded the pack and extracted it, you should have a folder like this. Mine is called Cycles Minecraft Rig, so I click in there. And now I want to have at first the main character of Minecraft. It's Steve, and for that I'm going to the Minecraft Simple Rig Blend. One moment, I have to adjust my microphone a little bit so that I don't lean over and I get a bad back. So let's click on this file here and then go to Objects, and then we go to Character, click on Character and Append from Library. And as you can see, now we have a simple blocky object here, and this is Steve. So I'm going to change now my engine to Cycles, and so that we can see what's going on, I'm going to change the viewport shading into material, or to let's go with material. Okay, now we have Steve here, and some of you will have another skin of Steve. If you play Minecraft and you are a little bit advanced, you mostly change the skin of Steve like I did. I used the Uber Steve skin for my default Steve. So I click on Steve, and I'm going to the Material tab here. I can do this in the node editor as well, but I can do it here, so it's much faster. But for now, I should maybe start the screencast keys so that you see what's going on. And yeah, let's go to the Material tab. Click on this X here to unlink the texture, and I'm going to open, and I'm going to select my Uber Steve texture and just click Open Image, and there it is. There's the Uber Steve, and as you can see, this is a standard Minecraft texture layout. So if you have a standard texture layout of a skin, you can use it without any tweaking. Okay, now let's move the camera a little bit in position so that we can create our compositing, our image compositing. So I'm going to here and click Control Alt and 0 so get my camera into the position of the view. And let's go over, and maybe we should go a little bit closer. And now I'm going to split the view because I want to have one camera view and one where I can work with. And as you can see, the movement is a little bit strange. As you can see, it looks a little bit distorted and so on. So I hit 5 on the numpad to change the view to orthographic. Now I can zoom in and it's a better view. So now let's go click on the camera again. You can click on the camera here or here on the frame, and I move the camera a little bit closer and a little bit over so that I have Steve in 1/3 of the image. So this is something like the golden rule. If you want to have the view of your user or of your customer directed to one specific, in this case Steve, just use the rule of third, and that's always a good idea. So let's move the camera a little bit more down and rotate it in the x-axis by hitting RXX. So I have the local axis of the camera, and I'm going with that. I think this should be good. Maybe a little bit closer again, like that, a little bit over. So this should be fine. The next step is I want to move Steve a little bit in position. So I have to use the bones for that. And I click on the bones, and then I'm going here on the interaction mode, I'm going to pose mode. And now I can select a single bone and I can move it. But I don't want to move it, I want to rotate it by hitting R and X, so I can only rotate it in the x-axis. And now I click on this on the lower leg and rotate it in the x-axis as well, like that. And here for another leg I want to rotate it in the axis, but I want to bring it a little bit to the front, and the lower leg as well, rotate it a little bit like that. And let's bring the body a little bit over like that. And now the arms, let's move that in the x-axis like this, and maybe a little bit in the z-axis as well, like that. Maybe a little bit lower like this, and the lower arm as well. And now let's rotate the head in the z-axis a little bit so that Steve is looking to us like that. Maybe we should move the head a little bit like this. And now the other arm, let's rotate it in the x-axis as well to about here, and the lower arm as well, so that it looks like this. So it looks like he's running. Okay, now that we have Steve in position, I want to give Steve something in the hand, in the right hand. So I'm going to append another thing, and I'm going to append, and now I'm going to the Minecraft item rig. Click on that, click on objects, and now I want to have a sword or something like that. And I want to have a sword, iron sword, so I choose that and append from library. Now as you can see, here's the sword, and I move it over. And I'm going to top view and here and rotate it in the Z direction like that. I always look at this view and on this view, and so that I can position it right. So like that, maybe a little bit up, a little bit more into the hand, like that. And the sword is a little bit out of scale, so I'm going to press S and scale it a little bit down. And let's move in and let's position it here, maybe a little bit down, like that. And this should be okay. It looks really good. Okay, now I want to have some additional mobs. I want a creeper and I want a zombie. And for that, I'm going to click on File again, Append, and this time I'm going into the Minecraft mob rig, and I'm going to Object, and move over, and on the mob, I have here the creeper, Append from library. And as you can see, the creeper brings a lot of additional stuff with it. This is for rigging, but we don't rig that. We don't make here a special position, so that I can get rid of this here. So I'm going to click on that and shift select all of the additional stuff which has brought the creeper with the append. So I'm going to select this, hit M for move, and move all these items to the second layer. So I have only the creeper here. So let's go in the camera view again, and here let's select the creeper and the bones and move it over. I want that the creeper is behind Steve, like that, and maybe here, like in the original image, and let's rotate him a little bit, and in the Z axis as well, rotate Z, and like that. Now if we look at this, we should bring it a little bit up, like that, and more in the back. So now we should have good looking creeper here. And now I want to add a zombie as well. So let's click File, Append, and now Mob, Zombie, Append from library. And this one spawns exactly on the position of Steve. So don't hit anything, just go to the arrow here and move it back. Now we have it a little bit in the back of the Steve, and now I'm going to do the same. I shift select all the additional stuff here, and I move it to the third layer. So now we have the zombie here. Let's click on the bones, click shift select the zombie. Let's have a look through the camera, and this guy I want to have over here. And let's rotate in the Z direction, like that. And I think that looks good. Maybe we can click on the bone and go to pose mode and click on one bone. This one, maybe this. Okay, this is rigged. So I have to click here on this one. Can I rotate it? Nope. Rotate, nope. Rotate, nope. So I have to, I've used the rig. So just move the leg a little bit. So I don't want to use the rig right now. So let's go in the camera view again, and as you can see, it looks really cool. And now for the background. The background is a screenshot with which I have made in Minecraft. For that I have deactivated the HUD, and I brought my character down and in a really low position and made a screenshot, just a simple screenshot. And to use that, we have to import this, and here's an option, images as planes. If you don't have that, you can go to user preferences and search for images in the add-on panel. Image, where it is here. Import, export, import images as plain. Click on that, check it, and you can save the user settings or just close it. So it's just available in this file. If you save it as user settings, it's always available. So go to File, Import Images as File, and now I'm going to bring in my background here, sky background, and import it. And now we have it here. So you can see as plain. And now let's let's go into the node editor so I can show you that node editor, and you can see Blender has made a node setup for us. So I go back to the 3D view and look through the camera, and on this view I bring it back and I scale it up. Scale it way up. Scale, 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 and bring it up like that. Move it over and scale it up again. Just a little bit more and bring it up. And I want to have the sun something like there. Okay, so I think it's looking good like that. And now we can do a test render. Clicking on the render panel, change device to GPU and lower the resolution a little bit so that we have fast render. And now I hit render. And as you can see, it's very dark. It does not look right. So we have to change that. So at first, let's work on a background image. So click on the background image. And now we have to change here to the node editor. And I want to get rid of the diffuse shader. I want to have an emission shader. Oh, I have accidentally clicked on the image texture. So click on the diffuse, get rid of that, hit Shift A, shader, emission shader. And just connect the color with the color and the emission with the mix shader input. So if we render now, as you can see, the image in the background looks now like the original image. So, but it's still too dark. And to make it a little bit brighter, we have to do certain things. At first, I'm going to the world setup. And in the world setup, I'm going to use nodes, go to color, click on that, and use a sky texture. And now we have this ball here, and this is the direction. Now the sun comes directly from above, and I want to have it like, like that, so that we have an approximation of this angle here. And I think this is okay. The other settings, I let it like they are as default. And I want a little bit of ambient occlusion, so I click on ambient occlusion and type in 0.1. This will be enough. So I'm going to hit not F12 in this case, because my recording will stop then. So I'm going to hit render here, and I have a look. And as you can see, the characters are much brighter right now. But we need a little bit more light from the background to get a little bit of a rim light from the sun. So let's go to the 3D view again here, and let's click on the default lamp, go to the lamp tab and change this to sun. So I'm going to position that where the sun is on this image, like there. And in the top view, I'm going to rotate the sun like that. And in the side view, I'm trying to recreate the angle like here on the image. The sun is going down, so the angle is something like that. And I'm going to use nodes, and the strength I set to 30. And now if I hit render, as you can see, now we have a little bit of a rim light here, but the characters are still too dark. And this is something you use in photography. You use a studio flashlight or just a strobe in front of your characters. So we don't have that here, but we have lamps. So I'm going to add a lamp. Shift A, lamp, point lamp. And I move that in front of Steve and a little bit up like that and a little bit closer. Maybe like that. Let's see. Let's move it here in the side view. It's okay. Okay, now hit again render and let's have a look on this. So render, and it's much better. And as you can see, now we have Steve in a cool position. He's running away from the creeper and a zombie, and we have this beautiful background. And now it's time for the compositing, for the compositor. But this is a thing for another tutorial, the part 2 of this tutorial, and it will be online in the next days, so please be patient. And yeah, I hope you liked it, the tutorial, and if you like it, just leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, or just subscribe to my channel. So, as always, happy blending and see you in the next tutorial. Bye!